Now we are discussing about one agricultural business opportunity, that is maple syrup. Maple syrup is a syrup made from the sap of maple trees. In cold climates, these trees store starch in their trunks and roots before winter. Is maple syrup healthier than honey? Both offer benefits in the form of either vitamins or minerals, and both offer protective antioxidant activity. Putting taste aside, as the two have different flavors, honey is more floral while maple syrup is more woodsy. Maple syrup tends to be the slightly healthier choice, but we enjoy both throughout the year. And next point is maple syrup actually good for you? Yes, pure maple syrup is not only high in antioxidants, but every spoonful offers nutrients like riboflavin, zinc, magnesium, calcium and potassium. So it is having very good demand, maple syrup. According to Helen Thomas of the New York State Maple Association, maple syrup has a higher concentration of minerals and antioxidants, yet fewer calories than honey. And next point is what is maple syrup made of? Pure maple syrup is made by concentrating the slightly sweet sap of the sugar maple tree. The basics needed for making maple syrup therefore are some sugar maple trees and a method of concentrating the sap into syrup. But one of the careful thing is sugar patients should not, it is better to take maple syrup. It is better not to take maple syrup. But taking simple syrup is, it will not give any effect. But one glass or two glasses of maple syrup is not comfortable to diabetic patients, because the insulin will be heavily increased in this. So be careful, especially for diabetes patients, for taking maple syrup. But taking in a choice of one half pack or something is not a problem. So be careful regarding that. But the antioxidants are there in that, and the magnesium is there, zinc is there, and the calcium and potassium are there. So many nutrients are there, but it is healthiest. But be careful regarding sugar patients. Next point is what is the benefit of maple syrup? Contains numerous antioxidants, gets a lower score on the glycemic index, fights inflammatory diseases, may help protect against cancer, helps protect skin health. It will protect the skin health also. And alternative to sugar for improved digestion, supplies important vitamins and minerals, healthier alternative to artificial sweetness. And next point is maple syrup okay for diet? If you need to lose weight or improve your metabolic health, you would be better off skipping sweetness altogether instead of going for maple syrup. Though there are a number of antioxidants in maple syrup, they don't offset its high dose of sugar. Next point is maple syrup okay for diabetics? Maple syrup can be used to replace other sugars that a person with diabetes adds to food while respecting their meal plan. Next point is maple syrup 100% natural? All maple syrup is not organic, even though it is a natural product and is harvested from wild maple trees. You remember that it is harvested from wild maple trees. And next point is maple syrup easy to digest? Health benefits of maple syrup. With a lower glycemic index, it would be a better choice for those with diabetes or other blood sugar issues, says Andrews. And people with irritable bowel syndrome may be able to digest maple syrup better than honey because of the type of sugars it contains. And next point is why is maple syrup so expensive? many people might not know is that producing maple syrup is an incredibly long, expensive and labor-intensive process. The sugaring season, that is ripe maple syrup, is a seasonal crop, begins at the end of the winter and the beginning of spring, when the frozen sap is of the maple trees and begins to flow, and thaws, maple trees thaws and begins to flow. And next point is maple syrup bad for cholesterol? Studies have shown that maple syrup can help lower cholesterol levels. This is because the phenolic compounds in maple syrup bind to cholesterol molecules, preventing them from being absorbed by the body. Maple syrup can improve blood sugar control. And next point is, does pure maple syrup expire? Before opening, all maple syrup can be stored in the pantry about a year. After opening, genuine maple syrup should be stored in the refrigerator and will last about a year. And next point is, what is flavor of maple syrup? By comparison, pure maple syrup is thinner and has a much more complex flavor with notes of caramel, brown sugar, butterscotch and vanilla. And the next point is maple syrup good in coffee? Adding maple syrup to your coffee will give it a unique flavor and sweetness that will leave you wanting more. Not only is maple syrup an excellent way to add flavor and sweetness to your coffee, but maple syrup is good for you with naturally occurring minerals and antioxidants. Next point is, do you refrigerate maple syrup? Once the container is open, maple syrup should be refrigerated. Once in contact with air, mold could develop if the product is not refrigerated. What is more, refrigeration tends to reduce evaporation, which is usually followed by crystallization of the product. This is the information regarding maple syrup. So maple syrup is also having so many benefits, and especially insulin also will produce so much, but so only diabetic patients should take some care. But taking few sips means it will not give any problem. That is, I want to say. And maple syrup is also a very good syrup, and it gives so much of health. That is the information I want to share with you.